We're all waiting to find out exactly what's gonna come from last week's debate. Now we know there's different sorts of conversations going on behind the scenes about Joe Biden and whether he should remain as the nominee. And the people with all of the actual power in our country, the big donors, are apparently waiting for polls. They wanna know how much this is gonna hurt him. Well, I would say, hey, by the way, while you're waiting for the new polls, have you seen the old ones? Because they weren't good before the debate, but whatever, we're waiting for new ones. And we don't have enough time, we don't have enough new polls to really know if it'll matter in terms of Biden versus Trump on the election. But what we do have is what people think about the candidates coming out of the election. And I do want to talk about those. So, does Biden have the mental and cognitive health to serve as president? Let's take a look at how he's polling now versus how he was polling about a month ago. He was at 35 earlier. It's now at 27. He's lost 8 points, or about 20% of those who thought he had the capacity no longer do. 72% of registered voters don't think that he has the mental and cognitive health to serve as president. I am not a Democratic strategist. I don't know anything, but I'm pretty sure you want that number to be lower than it is there. Now, to be fair, what about Donald Trump? So you have that 27-72 for Biden. Trump is at 50-49. Those numbers are devastating too, bear in mind. But people look at Biden and Trump and they think that Trump is the one whose brain is still functioning. That is how bad Biden has been in the public eye.
The video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
And by the way, in terms of just Democratic support for Biden, like if he should run, it went from, and this is February at 64%, it's now at 54. Look, I think that number should have dropped more, but that is about 1 in 6 of those who thought earlier that he should run are like, well, no, this is actually getting bad now. And we'll talk about more. We've got more data. We've got more behind the scenes, revelations of what people are saying. But Francesca, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, we knew this before. Like this is something we heard before months ago. In fact, interestingly, there was one thing that changed the discussion around whether Joe Biden is fit to run and be president for 4 more years. And that was October 7th. And the genocide that has ensued against the Palestinian people. For some reason, everyone shut up about Joe Biden and everybody stopped talking. I guess, it was like, hey, he can sell Israel a bunch of weapons. This is great. But remember, back then, in the fall of last year, people were talking about, look, I don't know about Joe Biden. And we're not talking about random people. We're talking about like Ezra Klein, right? We're talking about Nate Silver. These are all people that honestly didn't predict the 2016 election very well, but they are people who pay attention. They're folks who say, look, I've watched Joe Biden every single day. I watch every single one of his press conferences. He is a different guy than he was 4 years ago. His mental capacity, yes, is declining at a rapid pace. So we've known this. We've known this for so long. And so that's what's so enraging to me, John, is just like, if you knew this, and you knew that he was elected in part as a supposed transitional candidate, then what the hell are we doing? And why is his family the ones that get to decide? Like, oh, let's have the people who love him the most wrest the thing that he loves from, like take it from him.
We're gonna get to the family and to what everyone knew and when they knew it. Look, I wanna be fair, I always do. They say, the Biden team, don't worry, first of all, he had a good rally on Friday and he did seem more energetic. I would have loved to have seen that Biden there. I don't know if it was just a time of day thing or if he prefers having a crowd or if he needs a teleprompter, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's not the guy that was at the debate that over 50 million people saw. Literally the most watched thing CNN has ever broadcast. Like people were responding with, don't freak out everybody. Nobody watches debates. It was the most popular thing CNN has ever had. But anyway, Jamie Raskin.
But it is CNN, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it was still like 50 million people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, no, it was important.
Jamie Raskin said, now there are very honest and serious and rigorous conversations taking place at every level of our party. We're having a serious conversation about what to do. One thing I can tell you is that regardless of what President Biden decides, our party is going to be unified. Sure, we can be unified in defeat. I love that. I love everybody like standing in a straight line as the ship descends below the water.
Yes.
Anyway,
but at least we died together. Like,
exactly.
I don't want to.
I also just want to throw. I just want to throw out this too, and feel free to respond. Gretchen Whitmer apparently called the campaign chair, Jen O'Malley Dillon, on Friday after a day of frenzied speculation that she would be a front runner if Biden could be persuaded to quit. The second-term swing state governor told O'Malley Dillon that she hated her name being floated and that she was loyal to the president. And I love that so much. The entire call was to just be like, I want you to know I would never run against you because I'm the most loyal. Aren't I loyal? Shouldn't I perhaps be rewarded someday for that? Like, the entire point is the opposite of what ostensibly the call is about. And I don't even care. Again, if it was her, I'd press the button, I'd lock it in, we'd be better off. But every public statement, Obama says this, a campaign chair says we're in it to win it. Until they announce he's leaving, there is no incentive whatsoever to hint that it's even a 1% possibility. Why would you do that? So you cannot trust anything they're saying. Now, it could be true. It's 100% possible that he could not drop out, but them saying he's not gonna drop out is utterly meaningless, okay? Because not only do they not want to open up the window for more criticism while they're still deciding, but if they decide he's gonna drop out, what do you think they're gonna do? Just announce it immediately and then he goes off into the woods or whatever and lets everybody just figure everything out? No, they wanna be instrumental in choosing who the replacement is, which means we're gonna find out last. The person who they're gonna try to boost as his successor, they're gonna find out to have extra time to set up a campaign apparatus and talk to the donors and all of that stuff. So again, it's just, we're gonna report on it, but not because it can be trusted. Sorry, what do you think?
I guess I just am I'm trying to follow you and I agree with you. I just feel like it is a weird, just like reverse psychology to pull on a man who doesn't have regular like cognitive ability, like, oh, I'm gonna pledge my loyalty to you, Mr. President, so that you might handpick me to be, your successor. And it's like, he's not gonna pick that up, what you're laying down. Like Gavin Newsom was like, what, it's ridiculous, we have to stand with Joe Biden. It's like same stuff. It's like, I don't think they're gonna pick that up. I think they might, I don't know. Like, I think it might further entrench him as the nominee.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.